Welcome to Life Fit with DVD. I'm back again with another video. This is probably the 10th time I've tried filming this video today. The first two times, which I think I did a great job on it, my laptop froze up on me and I lost all the footage. So I'm tired. I've discussed this multiple times today, so let's hope this can be the best time of me discussing it. But today, I wanted to talk about why self promotion can be hard and how to overcome it. So, self promotion is something that can be pretty awkward for a lot of different people. I highly dislike self promotion because it just doesn't feel right. It feels like a little bit egotistical, like, you're kind of just promoting yourself. And there's a variety of reasons for why this can feel awkward and, can be a difficult thing. And I wanted to go through some of them today because it doesn't need to be like this, and there's really a way that you can kind of get around it if you reframe and change your perspective. So, the first of reasons why self promotion can be hard is the fear of rejection or judgment. So, self promotion involves putting yourself out there and sharing your accomplishments and abilities with other people. And this can be daunting for some people because if you have shared in the past your accomplishments and abilities and achievements with other people, and they have judged you for it, they've had a maybe a negative reaction to it, or maybe they've tried to one up you, saying, "Oh, you're not that good at it," "Oh, this person is the best," or some sort of framing for it, where it's like, you're not really good at what you're doing, right? So that can obviously be, a reason to be scared about kind of putting yourself out there. Um, so the second reason is a lack of confidence. Now, the first two kind of go together here, but a lack of confidence can come from people that have abilities but maybe feel a bit of an imposter syndrome around that, which can make it difficult for them to promote themselves. So, an imposter syndrome is where you feel like a fraud, that you might have the experience, but it doesn't feel like you're an expert. And I think I talked about being an expert in one of my videos last week, and why it's more important to be yourself. So I'll put that up here if I can find it. But ultimately, the imposter syndrome is going to make you feel like you're an imposter, right? That you don't have what it takes, despite having the skills, the certifications, the ability to be knowledgeable on a certain topic and articulate what you're good at and what your achievements are. Um, and I mean, self promotion is something that really can happen to all sorts of people, especially when you're going to a new level, right? Um, and it can be hard to promote yourself when you're you're new to a new group, right? If you have a unique set of skills, but everybody else has way more experience, way more years of experience, more skills, um, you know different breadth of information, that can be overwhelming and feel a little bit daunting. So that might be hard to talk about your achievements and put yourself out there as well. The big one for me is personal values, right? So some people may value humility, modesty, privacy, and therefore it can be hard to talk about themselves in a way where they're saying what they're good at, right? And because they don't want it to come off as, oh, you're being too cocky or you're being too egotistical or self-absorbed or whatever, right? That's kind of my own internal dialogue that happens when I think about promoting myself. It's a lot of just it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like me to talk about me, right? I like to put more focus on other people and trying to build them up. So when it comes to me, despite me having loads of experience, loads of degrees and credentials and all sorts of things, there's always somebody that's going to be better, right? And that is why it just doesn't feel right. And it feels, it feels better to just listen to people and, not to kind of toot my own horn or whatever, but to just like be humble and listen, because that opens you up to greater learning, which is what I love as well. So it can also be hard to put yourself out there and promote if you come from a background that doesn't value it, right? So some Eastern cultures, some Asian cultures, see self promotion more as boasting or arrogant behavior. So I'm just checking to see if my video is still going. I think it is. I think it is here. But yeah, some Eastern cultures see self promotion as boasting, arrogant, cocky, and instead they have other members of the group or the collective or the society talk about their family members or friends in a positive light. That way, it doesn't come off that way when somebody else is talking about you in a positive way. However, when you look at that sort of culture to what Western culture has become, Western culture is very different. There's a lot more self promotion, a lot more talking about oneself, and thinking about the other person seems to be forgotten in a lot of cases. And I'm not saying that everybody is like that, but at least how it is portrayed in the media, that has lost a lot of people. And there is a lot of just, narcissism that people, kind of, see and then embody with that sort of thing, which ultimately doesn't resonate with me as well. So the last reason that self-promotion can be hard is also maybe you just don't have the skills, right? Maybe you don't have the network, or you don't have the public speaking ability, or it's just awkward. You might not have the marketing know-how, right? So these can be just reasons why your skills might let you down, and this might not be something that's a natural thing for you. It might be more of a, well, when I say natural, I mean putting yourself out there, marketing, public speaking doesn't come naturally to you. So you got to practice it harder, right? You got to practice it more, and maybe try to find other people that are going to complement your skills and knowledge better, to also build you up and give you awareness on how to be a better public speaker, or how to network better if that is what you seek to do. So ultimately, these are just a few reasons so why self-promotion can feel so difficult, so hard, and why you might not like it in the first place. So this is definitely something that I struggle with and have struggled with for a long time. I've been very hesitant to just create this channel and talk, because it just doesn't, putting myself out there and talking about all of these things just doesn't feel, like me, right? I like listening to other people and I like building other people up. But ultimately, there's a key here that has been a reframe for me, and one of the reasons I'm doing this video. So before I get to it, let me go through some of the tips to how you can overcome your own dislike of self-promotion. So the first is recognize your achievements. Take the time, write what you have accomplished down. Write down what you're proud of in a journal, or maybe you just need to talk about it. Maybe you need to make a video and talk about, what you are good at. And as disgusting as that might feel to you, it might be good to hear some of the things that come up when you talk about it. I've done this exercise in the past, and it's amazing to me how many things I've done that I've forgotten about simply because I just don't value them that much. And it's not that these experiences or certifications or whatever don't have value. They absolutely do. But in my own mind, I just put them aside because I'm moving a different direction, right? But ultimately, all of these experiences have contributed to who I am today and are achievements in and of themselves towards being able to help other people because I have that experience, right? So listing out your own achievements can really help you build confidence and strength and be a good starting point for your own self promotion. It still feels so weird to say. So the next step is practice self compassion as well. Be kind to yourself and know that it's okay to be uncomfortable with your own self promotion. And don't be too hard on yourself and just have realistic expectations around all of it. I mean, even for me doing this, my goal has just been to share something every day. Whether it's good or, I miss a day or whatever, it doesn't matter. The important thing is for me to develop some consistency because the more I do this, the more I can feel comfortable presenting, all these different ideas and topics that I feel I need to share, and that hopefully I might be able to help somebody else that is wondering some of the same things out here. So the next step is develop a clear message, and this is something that I really need to work on a little bit more. And that is identify what makes you unique and craft a clear and concise message that highlights your knowledge and your strengths and accomplishments. So this will be able to, allow you to niche and target the people that would be best served by your message in a clear and concise manner. And I say that this is really something I need to work on because I have so much skill in a variety of different places. But even as I do these videos, I realize that a lot of my knowledge and my natural ability in what I do is to help others, right? To help others see the perspectives that they cannot see themselves, to help them try to build their energy towards something that is going to be unique to them. When this is something that I have struggled with for a long time in knowing myself. I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out who I am in all of this when it's very easy for me to see other people and what they are working on and what maybe is blind to themselves, right? But when I look at myself, it's like, what do I want to do? Like, where do I want to go? What direction am I heading? And ultimately, that is only something that you can answer yourself. However, it's important to have other people that can reflect you back to you, if you know what I mean, to communicate with you, to be able to mirror what you might be telling them for where you want to go and like how you want to promote yourself and all of that. So this leads me to the next point. Seek support. Find somebody that you trust that is going to be able to give you good feedback to help you practice and refine your own self-promotion skills. So this can be family or friends, but it also can be, another trusted individual. I would love to help people as well if there's something that they want to work towards, and maybe the way I communicate resonates with them. I would love to help you along your own path, right? But it's important to start small. Begin by sharing your accomplishments and your abilities with people that you trust, and then the more you become comfortable, you can gradually expand your topics and your audience and take on more challenging opportunities, right? That might be the direction you want to go ultimately. But ultimately, it's good to start small to just generate some momentum. And once again, this is why I'm just doing this channel and putting it out there, because like that's what I need, right? I know that just developing the momentum of putting myself out there and like trying to self-promote is hard enough, right? And the big secret to all of this is that instead of focusing on self-promotion as being self-promotion and an egotistical, self-absorbed sort of thing where you're just talking about yourself and how good you are all of that, try to reframe it and think about think, if I don't talk about myself and all of the things that I'm good at and that I have skills in and abilities, right? All of these experiences, how can I even help somebody else, right? Because if they don't know what you can do, how can you tell them? How can you help them, right? Because what other people don't know about you, they're just never going to know. So it's important to share. And that's ultimately what it comes down to for me, is it's a shift in mindset from self-promotion to trying to build relationships with others and trying to provide value to them. And really, that's what it comes down to, is sharing, right? Try to just share your experiences if you struggle with self-promotion. Share them with other people, and maybe you will have some sort of fear of judgment, or a lack of confidence in your own skills and abilities, but this is all part of the learning curve and the process of putting yourself out there, right? We're not all experts at any one thing, as much as people like to think they are experts, right? I mean, you can have degrees of expertise, right? I mean, there's always going to be degrees of expertise, but what is important is that you start building yourself, putting yourself out there, and just reframing the self promotion into something more productive, which is about helping others, right? So I hope this helps anybody out there today. That would be excellent if it does. Let me know if you did enjoy this. Please like or subscribe, and yeah, let me know in the comments if you struggle with self promotion as well, and like what aspects you might struggle with, right? Since we all are individuals and we all have different things that kind of make us tick. So once again, thanks for being here, and until next time, talk to you later. I pray to God that this video actually